Well, Jim Chalmers will hand down his pre-election budget on Tuesday with substantial help for struggling Aussies. But let's break down what this will actually mean for you. Economist from RMIT University, Dr. Nataliya Ilyushina, joins us now. Dr. Nataliya Ilyushina, lovely to see you as always. Thanks for joining us today. I mean, the Treasurer has promised substantial, meaningful support for Australians while not impacting inflation. Is that even possible?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, Holly. And there are two ways to help with cost of living crisis. One is urgent and short-term solutions, like we had the subsidy for electricity, which is now coming off. But the problem with those short-term cash injections they are inflationary, and we're holding on to hear yet another one, the continuation of Help to Buy scheme, which will inject further money into the economy and potentially drive the rise in prices for housing. What we will still stand by to hear is there a non-inflationary and long-term solutions such as increase in productivity. Even though Jim Chalmers said that the investment in business isn't growing, but the recent ABS data is showing that there's a slight fall of 0.2% in the new capital investment, and also the capital to labor ratio has fallen by 5%. So I'm concerned but hopeful that there will be something to address the productivity issues that in the long term will get us out of the cost of living crisis.
Are you concerned as an economist when you break down the numbers that Aussies might be being misled here or information being withheld when it actually comes to these budgets and this pre-election budget here? Because to say that we're giving you substantial help, but at the same time keeping inflation down, that's not necessarily possible when you look at that, right?
Yes, absolutely, Holly. And an average person is not supposed to know all the details of how economics works. So when Jim Chalmers says that there's more businesses being opened, we don't know how many of them were closed and were they successful, were they profitable, and how many people they hired. When we get reports on unemployment is stable, we actually had 54,000 people leaving labor force. So it's obviously we cannot expect an average Australian to go through that. It's a responsibility of the government to unpack honestly and transparently everything that's going on in the economy.
When you look at the Albanese government, though, they're promising a lot of help, a lot of spending, but then the opposition just seems to be matching that, whatever they put forward. What kind of fiscal leadership would you like to see?
I would like a remove of red tape for the businesses and let them do what they should do, provide employment and wage growth and productivity, because right now the businesses have no certainty, and this is why we have slowing capital investment and falling capital to labor ratio. What does that mean? That means that workers simply don't have tools to work with. And GDP per hour worked fell by 1.2% because obviously we're becoming less and less effective. Even the parliamentary office themselves says labor productivity fell by 6.3%. So support for businesses would help us naturally and efficiently to get us out, but also investment in technology should be more focused on. And recently, Ed Husic, for example, pledged 780 million for green minerals, and there was just a discussion about cyber threats. The problem with that is while we have a lot of funding promised or announced, it does not really result into anything. So we don't hear the follow-up and the results, how it actually got us out of the productivity. And what's the episode that has just been discussed, the cybersecurity threats and so on, it's what are we doing about that? Indeed, nothing. There was an AI regulation inquiry led by, again, Ed Husic, and it resulted in nothing. I contributed to that inquiry twice myself, and we still don't have a regulation. No wonder we having sorry.
No, sorry, Natalia. We do have to wrap things up. We've run out of time. I always love our chats, but they go too quickly. We've got about 30 seconds. I just want to quickly get your thoughts on the ACCC report this week.
The report was surprisingly uncovering that we are having an oligopoly in the supermarket sector, which I don't quite agree. I still believe it's a duopoly. But what is a good thing coming out of it? It showed the so-called land banking, that big supermarkets were buying land around them, preventing other competitors. And even worse, I found that customers in remote areas, majority of them have no choice in the supermarket. So they are so far away from each other, the competitors, say Woolworths or Aldi, that the customers just simply have no choice. So there is a local monopoly.